Welcome back, everyone. You are watching the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage, and I am producing today another debut video. The Singer 301A in beige is now ready. It has been totally gone through and is ready for sale. And I wanted to do, as I always do with these debut videos, as I like to call them, the sort of demonstration of the machine. As you can see, if you look down, you will see all the test stitching I've been doing. What the wonderful thing about analog sewing machines is that they speak to you, and they normally do it when they're stitching. If they stitch beautifully, they're happy. If they're not, there's usually something that needs to be updated, adjusted is very often the case. They seldom are broken in the modern sense when you think of consumer items. But this machine came to me, I found it, and of course I needed to get its housing, and I've shown other videos where I've actually shown how to remove this piece when you want to change the light bulb, which I did. I have gorgeous sunlight today, and I'm really excited to have this light because you can see. I think things look better in natural light. Sometimes you don't have a choice if it's a cloudy day, or sometimes I'll use electric light when I'm making videos, but I really prefer daylight. And the sunlight, and we're getting more now that we're heading towards spring. And anyway, I wanted to turn this on just to show you. This is, of course, the LED light bulb that I placed in. And I've done, again, several videos talking about the machine. The machine was gone through entirely. Every area was cleaned, lubricated, adjusted. We have new spool pin felts, which are, that's not really a high skill level. You just need to get the felts and put them on the pin, on the spool pins there. However, the tension assembly was disassembled, cleaned. The discs were polished. What else needed to happen? Oh, the machine has a new felt. I don't think I have room on the posting for the photo of it, but the pan underneath has a brand new felt for drip. Let's see. This is one of the few machines that still has a beige bobbin winder ring, the little tire we sometimes call them, and it's not cracked at all. It's always interesting to me how sometimes some soft rubber pieces will actually age well, and I suspect it's because the machine was well cared for, not just in terms of keeping it clean, but I suspect it was stored indoors in climate controlled comfort. As it turns out, storing a sewing machine, you want to store it in a place where you would be comfortable. Not too cold, not too damp, not too dry, not too hot. And anyway, this is what I often call a Singer featherweight for people who don't want to pay for a featherweight. The featherweight is a wonderful machine, and this one is too, and they share the same bobbin and the same shuttle and hook design. So it is not a surprise that the stitches that come from using a 301 are very much identical to those that come from the featherweight. What do you have? You have a wider throat or harp space, depending on your terminology, because the overall machine is wider, and but you have a different motor design. So it does share its bobbin and hook system, but the rest of the machine is really different. It has a direct drive motor, so you don't have a belt to replace. Nothing wrong with belts, but it is an all-new design except for the shuttle system. In 1951, this machine, I haven't checked, but I believe its serial number will show that it was it was produced around 1952. A little bit of the polish there. I wanted to finish buffing, but I love these machines. They are incredible to work on. Singers are generally friendly, the 301s especially so, and I have a soft spot for the 301 because it's the first sewing machine model I ever overhauled about, 11 or 12 years now or something like that. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how she sews. Of course, the 301, if you're new to it, let's see, let me shift the camera here. I have the thread sitting on the spool pin back here, and if let's come up a little bit and show you the thread path, because I've already threaded it. The thread comes along, it catches this thread guide, comes right down the center of this thread guide. Maybe a little zooming would also help here. There we go. And then, of course, you come down, you lean it against this little lovely guide that sort of brings the thread where it needs to be between the two discs. It comes around clockwise. It comes up, and it hits the check spring here, and then the little thread will rest right in this little valley. And then it rests in the valley. It's got a hold of the check spring, and then it comes up, right? So a lot of times when you're threading a machine, you're going up, down. You're making sort of a U shape. You're coming up, down, up, down. You come up here through, let's bring this back out a bit. You come back up through this guide. You hit the take-up arm right here, and then you come back down. You have a thread guide here. More zooming is required, I think. And we're going to come back down. So we're going to hit this thread guide, and then we've got one right here, and then we have another one here. And you're not done because you have yet another one. These extra thread guides are there because the engineers knew that where they wanted the thread to be when it got to the needle. So here and then right here. And remember, the Singer 301 is one of several Singers and some of the only vintage home sewing machines. They actually don't thread from left to right, they thread from right to left. So when you put your needle in, you want to make sure that your grooved side is over here on the right because your thread's going, if I can zoom back out, your thread is going this way. And that's just how it was engineered. It's, other than that, it's, it's a needle and a bobbin case, and it's not, there's nothing else unusual about it other than that. I'm not sure why Singer did it. May have something to do with how they designed the bobbin and the shuttle system. I don't know. But we are getting ready now. I'm going to let you hear it. It has a wonderful sound. And I won't use the light because we've got gorgeous daylight, and I really prefer daylight to any kind of other light when I'm showing my machines. So anyway, I'll come over here and show you this. If you know this machine, of course, you know it's a straight stitch dedicated machine. Some of the finest stitches come from dedicated straight stitchers, and the longest stitch length is down here. Now, if you're used to a metric machine, a lot of the machines in Europe and from Japan, when they came over during what I call the vintage era, they had metric numbers, and they were measured that way. So when you see the numbering system, excuse me, you would have the length of the stitch. You could look at those number systems, but for imperial or English measurement for Singers in this period, the longest stitch is always the lowest number because that's the number of stitches per inch. As you get more stitches per inch, they get shorter. And I'll show you some examples of these beautiful stitches that it makes. So we'll start here in the longest stitch length area. And I can show you the lovely slow needle control that you get with Singers, and especially you can actually get this slow stitching speed with the original button style carbon pile Singer foot pedals, and they're made, they have the Bakelite with the porcelain inside. In this particular instance, I chose to update with a brand new cord and a brand new digital foot pedal. So you get even more, I don't know if it's more or better, but you get that nice smooth control. But the Singer 301 is one of the first vintage machines that could really move quickly. And so if I turn around here and get another run, you will see just how fast the machine can sew. Rev her up here. That's pretty darn fast for a vintage model. You may have newer plastic machines that can sew faster, but that's one of the few things I think that they can do better. And unless you're really, really highly skilled, you may not care to have super high speed. I don't know. It'll depend on your sewing skill and your desire. Even if you have the skill, not all sewers want to go 100 miles an hour. So what do we got here? I'm going to turn the machine back, or turn the fabric back around, and let's see, and come over here and get in a new spot. And then I'm going to shorten the stitch length. So we're going to come up and we're going to get way up here. Now remember, don't hit 0 on any vintage machine because there's no computer to know what it's doing. And if you hit 0, what will happen is you'll end up with a big ball, just a big nest and a tangle to undo, because the machine doesn't know, right? It's counting on you to be the software. If we want to go backwards, which you can do, of course, this machine has reverse feed. You will go all the way up, which I'll show you when I get this sewer moving. But let's do a short stitch here. A lot of machines can do short stitches, but my favorite short stitches are made on Singer rotary hook designs. That would include the Singer Featherweight, the Singer 201, the Singer 301, and there may be a few others from Singer that I'm not mentioning. Let's see. Oh, of course, and then I mentioned to you, let's go back down to the long stitch length. So let's say I'm getting to the edge of my fabric, and then I can simply back tack and go in reverse. Very easily done. And grab a hold of my scissors here, and we'll take a look at the stitches that this machine makes. Now, the fabric is a medium heavyweight cotton twill. It looks kind of like in a similar woven that denim would be, but I don't know exactly. But it has that weight. It's not a blue jean fabric, but it's cotton, and it's pretty heavy and coarse. And we've got seams. We've got those seams like you would see on blue jeans. And I wanted you to see this because really good sewing machines have a balanced stitch, right? So here's the top thread is pink, and you can see just beautifully just how straight the stitches are. And notice when it hits the thick seam, right? So we got 2 layers of the fabric, and then the seam would make at least 4. And it comes across, and it doesn't miss a beat. It just keeps going, right? It doesn't get upset. And a good sewing machine should do that for you. And on the back, you can see the blue, which is the bobbin thread. You can see lovely balance to the stitch. And here's a better close-up, let's see if I can find it here, of this heavy, thick seam. And you can see, once again, if you look, the threads come right over and do not even care. Any good sewing machine should do this for you. Some of the new modern machines are really poor at it because they're poorly made. I mean, let's just not all of them, but some of them can be. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out, look at the incredible consistency of the short stitch. Here's the bottom thread blue, and I call it the micro dot stitch. That's just my nomenclature. I made that term up, but look at that. I mean, that's pretty darn tight as a consistent stitch. And then you can see the pink. It's almost hard to even see the stitches. They're so fine and short and nice the way they come out right there. Let's see. Actually, you can see even better. I think the blue shows it up better. The pink, when you get to the short stitch, is not as easy to see. Let's see if I can find a spot. There we go. Right there. Legendary for making gorgeous stitches. And this machine, again, has been fully gone through. And when you're welcome to bring your own fabrics. If you would like to take a look at the machine, you can test it out, take it for a test run. And if you are new to sewing and you're not sure, how to, maybe you're new to trying to operate a sewing machine, I'm happy to demonstrate it for you, and I have fabrics here, so you don't have to bring anything, but you're certainly welcome to. Thanks for watching, and if you are interested, you will see this machine will be posted on Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji, and you are welcome to contact me through those postings and set up a time to take a look and try out this wonderful piece of history that is now ready for duty. It is ready to work once again. Thanks for watching, everyone.